Hola, hola. This is your boy Tico Tread. I'm gonna talk about dating down. I've never once dated down. Well, somewhat. I never once dated down because I always maintained that I'm a six with extraordinary charisma, just so I can actually. It's easy to actually maintain a six. Basically, I know I'm about a 7, 8. Basically, I could be a 9 if I really, really tried, but I like to keep it between 7, 8. Basically. Um, but I mainly hover around the 8 for the most part. I hover around the 8 for the most part. How I know I hover around the 8? Because I've always dated women that were more attractive. Basically, I can get a more attractive woman if I actually put effort into it. Or I don't even half the time I don't even have to put effort into it. Basically, I just always step out with my best foot forward. Basically, and or get into a couple bar fights. And or get into a verbal joust with somebody and embarrass them. Either way, I know I can actually do better all the time. But I will always say, if you ever talk to me or talk to any of my coworkers or friends, I would always say I'm a 6 with extraordinary charisma. Have I ever dated a 6? No. I've never dated a 6. I've never actually ever dated a 6. I've never dated down in my life. Even when I was doing my fun stuff, I've never dated down. Basically. Because I don't believe in dating down. I don't believe in rewarding women that are beneath me, basically. I don't believe in that. Even if I get horny, I'll just hold off until I actually see somebody on my level. Basically, unlike other niggas, that's like the difference between, thinking with your head and thinking with your dick, basically, like most men do. Most men think with their dick, basically. So they'll have sex with any fucking thing. Or, they'll get drunk and have sex with anything, basically. Here's why women have this overflated ego, basically. Because those men that were higher up dated down because they were horny. Here's the problem with that. 1, you're a dumb motherfucker for dating down, basically. And 2, I don't date down. That's beneath me, basically. A woman actually has to be on my level for me to want to date her. Basically. It's that simple. You have to be on my level. And that don't include now. You have to remain on my level even in the future. So if your mom looks like shit at her age, basically, you're beneath me, basically. That lowers your value automatically in my eyes. If your mother is if your mother aged horribly, that basically lowers your value in my eyes, basically. So you might be an 8 or a 9, basically, but if your mom ages horribly, you're about a 6, 7, basically. It's that simple. I can't date down. I just can't date down. I refuse to date down, basically. A woman either has to be on my level or above, basically, and I've always only dated women on my level or above. I've never dated a woman that's below me, basically, because I don't believe in dating below me. I mean, there are women at my job right now that think they're 10s, and they're not, basically. And the irony to that is, even though they're younger than me, they actually look older than me. Which is kind of funny. Then there are women that, lost weight and look horrible at my job, basically. Sometimes when you keep certain weight, you look better, but when you lose it, you look like shit, basically. It's that simple. Yeah, I find it rather odd when stuff like that happens. I just can't really. And the irony to that is I just can't date down. I just refuse to date down, basically. I'll date up, I'll date the same, but I would never date down. It's that simple. And irony to that, even women who think they're on my level or below me, basically. Like I said, I'll always maintain, anytime in conversation, in passing and joking manner, I'll always say I'm a 6 with extraordinary charisma, basically. And I'll always maintain that, basically. But at the end of the day, I know I'm a 6. I know I'm a 7 and 7, 8. I know I'm a 7.5, 8, basically. Because I've always said I'm on a cusp. Because women may not always walk up to me and want to talk to me, but I know if I walk up to a woman and talk to a woman, she'll be interested. So I know I'm on a cusp because of that, basically. And I know that I actually can be a 9 if I actually put a little more effort into it, basically. If you know what I mean. Like, I basically know I can be a 9 if I put a little bit more effort into it. But I don't really like trying to be a tryhard, basically. So I like trying to maintain my average, basically, which is usually like about an 8, 7, 8, basically. 7.5, 8. And that's basically how I operate. I operate on the premise, like, in my daily routine, in my daily life, I operate on a 7.5, 8, basically. That way, I don't have to be a tryhard, basically, because I really don't like tryhards. I really don't. And I'm very lazy when it comes to, like, always trying to meet other people's standards, basically, because I don't believe I have to meet other people's standards. It's that fucking simple. I don't have to meet your standards. It's that simple. Especially if your standards are ridiculously high and I know you don't really deserve that shit, I'll basically just laugh at you and walk away. It's that simple. That, and I've never dated down because I don't believe in rewarding. I don't believe in rewarding people who don't deserve to be rewarded, basically. If you don't earn it, you don't deserve it, basically. Unlike all the men that run around here, gets horny, and just be fucking anything, basically. And all the men who get drunk and, have a one-night stand. I've actually never slept with a woman that was ugly. Legit. I've never slept with an ugly woman, basically. I've never had sex with an ugly woman. I've never dated an ugly woman. Pretty much all the women I've ever dated have either been basically 7.5s and above, basically. I even dated a chick that was actually off the chart. That would probably be like about a 15 or a 20, basically. So yeah, I know I can actually do better. I know I can actually kick out of my coverage, basically. I think that's what they refer to it. I've always been known to kick out of my coverage, basically. It's that simple. Or kick out of coverage? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Yes, I don't believe in dating down. I don't believe in rewarding people who don't deserve to be rewarded, basically. So just because some other nigga basically slept with you, that don't mean I'm going to sleep with you. Just because some cool white guy from college slept with you, that don't mean I'm going to sleep with you. It's kind of like how I kind of view that like how I view like women who dated my relatives. If my cousin slept with you, I'm not going to sleep with you. Because you're beneath me, basically. And I don't mean that to be mean. I don't mean that to be mean. It's just the fact that I don't believe in dating women who dated one of my relatives, basically. So if you dated one of my relatives, I would never date you. Either side, mom or dad's side, I would never date you. It's that simple. Because I know I don't have very many male relatives on my dad's side anyway. But I have a shit ton on my mom's side. And I pretty much know their standards. And quite frankly, their standards are way below mine. A lot of them look good, but their standards are way below mine. So just because my cool, good-looking cousin dated you, that doesn't mean I'm going to date you. He has very low standards. It's that simple.